So when I got the email from Ginny saying, do you want to go to sunny Barcelona to film a really fun little go-kart hatchback? I was like, yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Ginny. So, anyway, we always loved the Mini Electric. It's always been fun to drive, lovely to look at, decent value. The problem is, it wouldn't really get you very far. You'd have a lovely time driving it, but then, you know, you just have to stop quite often because the range wasn't that good, was it? But times are changing, folks, because this will now get you even further than before. It's also got some really lovely retro nods to Minis from the 60s. Shall we have a drive? And actually, we can drive it without worrying about running out of range. It's good, isn't it? Come on then. Okay, so this is an international launch, and normally what happens here, we're given the car for a couple of hours, we take it for a drive, and it's tricky to film an entire video in that time. So we normally tend to rely on footage that's been shot by Mini of the car driving, and then we film all of our other stuff. So what you're going to notice in this video is it's going to be raining, then sunny, raining, sunny, raining, then sunny. You get the idea. Should we just get on with it? All right then.
So come on then, what do you think of the looks? I mean, the new car is wider but shorter, which is really unusual for a car these days. Normally they just grow and grow. So the Mini is actually getting squarer. Although you can tell it's a Mini, it's just really different looking. We've got flush door handles, no wheel arch extensions, but still has the all-round windows and the contrasting roof. Lovely. Mirrors, I think they look a little bit out of place, like from a different car. Do you know what I mean? I want them to be circular, to go with the rest of the circular vibe of the car, you know? The daytime running lights can also be switched to create 3 signatures, and they start and end with a very special welcome and goodbye animation. That's also the same on the backlights as well. Very cute.
And yeah, we have a similar theme happening in here. Lots of nice nods to classic Mininess. I mean, you remember the old Minis. It was like something there and a steering wheel, and that was it. And that's kind of the idea that they've gone for. That's it, steering wheel and the nice circular OLED screen, which I think is very, very nice. Now, I know that there are some safety concerns when it comes to having everything on a central screen, a bit like the Volvo EX30 or Tesla Model 3, but you can opt for head-up display, which is extremely good. Really, really good. And when you change everything that's going on in here, which I'm going to show you in a second, it changes the theming on there as well. So everything all just kind of connects and works really, really well. Now, also in here, I need to give a nod to how they've managed to cut the budget for themselves a little bit. So, you know, like up here, you would probably get a lot of plastics, a lot of scratchy plastics up here, but no, it's recycled knitted material that is knitted straight in. It's not like printed out and then stuck on. They really have designed it so that it fits the car perfectly, and it's all recycled materials. It's a nice way to cut costs, and it still looks reasonably nice, I think. Materials on the seats are also pretty decent as well. In terms of storage, it's fairly decent, but also fairly open at the same time. So if you are a snacky, messy person, you're going to see all your snacks and your mess right here in the middle. Got a couple of cup holders, wireless charging, couple of charge ports down there. Then we've got a very, very small glove box. Door bins, also quite small, but it's a small car. If you want bigger and you want more practicality, then you would go for a Mini Aceman or a Countryman, wouldn't you? Right, the screen. Allow me to talk you through it because I think it's bloomin' marvellous. Right now, we are in go-kart mode. Yeah, and actually when you turn it on to go-kart mode, it goes woohoo and plays out really cool noises. And as you go through each menu, every menu is different and plays a different sound. I know. Apparently there's a guy that is a conductor that actually created all of the sounds, all of the jingles, all of the noises for every single drive mode within this car and put so much work into it because, I mean, it's an electric car, it's going to be quiet, so you want nice sounds to go along with it, don't you? And that's what they've done. So what else have we got here? We have our green mode, so this is if you're driving the most eco-friendly, if you want to make the most out of your battery, and this won't make too much noise when you're putting your foot down too much. And as we go a little bit further down, vivid mode, this is nice. Vivid mode, if you like listen to audiobooks or listen to Spotify, etc., it changes all of the lights and the theme to whatever you're listening to, which I just think is really clever. Also further down we have Timeless, personal favourite of mine because it just looks stunning. This is classic Mini at its finest. And what I do know is for this Timeless, for the noise of the Timeless when you do put your foot down, which I'm going to do in a second and I can show you what I mean. When you put your foot down in Timeless mode, they recorded the noise of an old Mini Morris from like 1964, and they used that and then kind of digitally put it in and took like the essence of that to create the sound for that, which I think is very clever. Let's go a bit further down, personal, so you can put up nice pictures of your loved ones. There's Manos. Do you like that, Manos? No, I like it. You can put up some nice pictures of your dogs and stuff, which I just think is really cute. You can also add the settings to suit your personal favourites. Or balance. This is where everything becomes relaxed. It closes the sunroof and plays relaxing music. So if you fancy a nice little relaxing cruise in your Mini, you go for your life, but you're not really going to do that, are you? You want it in go-kart mode. That's what you want. There's really nice nods in here that shows it is a go-kart. I mean, during the presentation meeting that I just sat in, they said go-kart a lot. I mean, they've changed the key now, so instead of having like a push to start, it's now a turn to start, a bit go-karty. You've also got a little bit of fabric here, like a strap here, that's very go-karty. No more chrome. Chrome is gone. Apparently, chrome is a thing of the past and it's not cool anymore. So they found a material called Vibrant Silver, which is dotted throughout the entire car, inside and out. And I think it looks very nice. We've got it around the cup holders and on the steering wheel and on the Mini badge, which I think looks really lovely. Oh, and on the speakers, on the Harman Kardon speakers. I honestly think the whole interior styling is very Mini, very retro and futuristic at the same time. I'm a big fan.
There is also a variety of games which will keep you entertained while you're charging your car. Oh, and Mini has a virtual assistant. His name is Spike, by the way, and he's there for all of your virtual needs, like local tourist tips or weather information.
Hi, Mini. What's the weather like in London?
On Monday, it will be partly cloudy with temperatures between 6 and 16 degrees Celsius in London, England.
Whoa. It rains when we go home. It's literally raining for the rest of the week as soon as we get home. It's only nice today while we're here. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm in. Okay, that is set up for my driving position. Actually, that's not bad. I think as well because I've sat in the back of a Fiat 500e and that feels way smaller than this. But this isn't horrendous. I mean, naturally it's a 3-door. Again, if you want something more practical, you go for the Aceman or you go for the Countryman. If you want something with a bigger boot, because back there it's like 200 litres of space. It's hardly anything. But it's still 15 litres bigger than a 500e. That's like 185 litres. It's a small experience for small people.
Okay, while we're talking about the figures, let's go through the other specs. So there are two versions, the Cooper E and the Cooper SE. So the SE is the one that we have here, which has a 40 kilowatt hour battery, giving around 190 miles worth of range. And power will come from a 181 brake horsepower electric motor. A 45-ish mile gain in range compared to the current Mini Electric's 145 mile range from a 32.6 kilowatt hour battery. So there you go. The Cooper SE is more sporting, with 214 brake horsepower electric motor and 54 kilowatt hour battery, which equals 251 miles of range. Yeah, that's pretty efficient. Charging-wise, the Cooper E can take 75 kilowatts and the Cooper SE can take up to 95 kilowatts. I mean, this isn't great by modern standards, but it does allow the battery to be charged from 10% to 80% in just under 30 minutes. Right, here's the part I'm excited about, the driving.
Do you know what? Barcelona roads are really nice, even when it is absolutely chucking it down. So we are in go-kart mode right now, which is why you can hear that noise in the background, because it gives like a cool go-kart noise. which makes you feel very go-karty, and it does make you feel like you're racing. But this is awesome because it's just the type of car that you just want to throw. And I know, because I've driven this car before, I actually drove it. It was my first video for electrifying, actually. In Austria last year, everything in here was all camouflage. The outside of the car was camouflage, but they invited some of us to go out and take a little test drive on a track. And I got to drive it, and I had the best time. So I know what this can do. And back then, they were saying that they wanted to make some tweaks to make it even better. And have they made it better? Let's find out. Yeah, I think they have. Yeah, they have. This actually rides lower than the old Mini Electric. So I don't know, it makes it feel like it's a bit sportier. So if you're going to do a day-to-day drive in this and you want to take it from A to B, this is really nice and quiet. Smooth? Well, it's hard to tell. Because, again, we're in Barcelona. And I can tell you now, the roads in Barcelona are much nicer than the roads that we get in the UK. So what we need to do is really take this properly for a spin on bumpy British roads to really see what it feels like. But as it's a nod to the classic Mini, it's a nod to that with a much smoother experience, I think. Right, should we try one pedal driving? There's nobody behind me, so I reckon I can test out one pedal driving. Is it full one pedal? Let's try. So we've got B. Doesn't have different Oh. Oh. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's great. That's great. And actually, at Electrifying, myself, Ginny and Nikki, we're all big fans of one pedal driving. It just makes life so much easier. Once you start driving electric and you start getting that feedback as soon as you lift your foot off the accelerator, it makes a massive difference and you just get used to it. That feeling of just riding the throttle rather than touching the brakes all the time. Oh, I like that. That's really good. That's good, that. Yep, that's good, that. Like that. Good stuff. Let's try some different drive modes, shall we? So let's go on to, what was the one I liked? Timeless. Where's Timeless? Right. So this is the one where they actually recorded from a Mini Morris back in like 1964. They used that car. They recorded the sound and then they used the essence of that sound to put it into this car. So I'm going to get on a straight bit and have a listen. Hear that? It doesn't sound anything like a Mini Morris. But I can see what they've tried to do. Do you know what? I really love the head-up display as well because it gives that kind of classic Mini look and feel. I feel like I've been taken back to the 60s in a futuristic car, which I kind of really love. Okay, so now we put it into green mode, which means all of the noise has turned itself off. Nice and calming, has slightly less response when you put your foot down because it wants to make the most out of your range. This is essentially your eco mode, if you will. You're going to drive as efficiently as possible. This will be if you're, doing city driving, that kind of thing. Hasn't really changed the steering that much, if I'm honest with you. But it still feels like it's quite relaxing, isn't it? It's a lovely thing, this. Is it pure Mini? I don't think it is pure Mini. There is an essence of Mini, isn't there? That I think you're just always going to struggle to get that complete essence in an electric version. But from what they have put in here and what they have created, and this feeling and these noises that they have created, it's more than a nod to classic Mini. Still blooming good fun. Look at this augmented reality sat-nav. That's absolutely brilliant. Also really clear, considering the fact that it is chucking it down right now, it's still really clear. Very good. I think the thing with Mini is that it's just completely different to any other car. You sit in a Mini and you know that you're sat in something different. A lot of cars are the same nowadays. They are, aren't they? And then you sit in a Mini and you just know you're sat in something a bit special. You know? It's got charm.
Now, price-wise, we're looking at around £30,000 for the E and around £34,000 for the SE. Look, if you do need more space, you may want to consider the Aceman. I mean, yes, that will be slightly more expensive, but in terms of competition with the Smart Hashtag 1 and the Volvo EX30, that may be the one for you. But hey, this little Cooper hatch is a bit lovely, isn't it?
It's tricky, isn't it? Reinventing an icon. Although I think they've done a very decent job with it. I mean, it's not like they've decided to go, okay, well, let's just make it bigger and more expensive. Instead, they've shrunk it a little bit and it's expected to stay below £30,000 and it's got more range. So really, you're getting more for your money, you know? I mean, if you compare it to driving an old school Mini with a combustion engine, is it the same? Not quite. But I don't think they can ever do that. They're going to try. But in terms of go-kart feels, I think it's still got it. And I love the sounds, the noises it makes, and it's just, you put your foot down and it just makes you smile. And I think the yellow colour also really makes me smile. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Electrifying YouTube channel. Yeah, I like it. I don't like the weather though, don't like this weather.